As we are here to celebrate the life, the legacy, and the sacrifice of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who was a drum major for justice, peace, and righteousness. One of the many famous quotes that Dr. King said, which was many, that resonated with me personally, that the time is always right to do what is right.
I am pleased and honored to introduce the president of Jackson College, Dr. Daniel Phelan, who will give an official welcome. But before Dr. Phelan comes to the podium, I would like to acknowledge our president, who leads with his heart and passion for people. Dr. Phelan has been at the helm of this institution for 22 years. Let's give a round of applause for him.
I wonder, how would we evaluate the luminescence of that light today? Is it brighter? Is it the same? Or is it diminished in some? That's the thought I've been carrying with me all day today. Wondering how bright is the light that we brought into the world? The light that was extinguished much too early. Each year I come here, and as Michaela said, I've been here for 22 years. And I'm so grateful that we have this opportunity to come together as a community and think about his legacy and where we go as a community. And more importantly for me, anyway, I think about the next day. I think about tomorrow. And the excitement and enthusiasm of this event flees. Where's the luminescence of that light? What about a week from now? A month from now? Where is that luminescence? There are great things happening in our communities as we try to advance diversity, inclusion, love, and acceptance. And they're happening in pockets within our community. And there are great things to be sure.
In 1967, Dr. Martin Luther King gave a speech at a high school in Boston, where he asked the question, what is in your life's blueprint? In that speech, he said there's three things that must be at the core of your blueprint. Three things. He said, number one, you have to have a deep belief in your own dignity, in your own somebodyness. Believing that you are somebody and not letting anybody tell you anything different. Number two, he said you have to have the determination to achieve excellence. You have to have the determination to achieve excellence. Now, a lot of the words that Dr. King wrote don't need no remix. So some of this I'm going to read verbatim what he said. He said, don't drop out of school, no matter any of the sociological reasons why we often drop out. He said, I urge you, in spite of your economic climate, in spite of the situation you are forced to so often live with in these unintolerable conditions, stay in school. And when you discover what you're going to be in life, set out to do it as an Almighty God Himself called you at this particular moment in history and do it. Number three, don't allow anyone to pull you so low that it causes you to lose your self-respect. Those are the three things that I want to make sure that you leave hearing from me and putting in your notes. Because you are our future. You are the reason that we are all gathered here today. And I'm so glad that so many of our students here at Jackson College were able to make it to this event tonight. The last thing that he said, and it's so funny how words from so long ago ring so loud and are so important to what's happening right here today. So remember this, just as things got tough in 2020, things may get tough in the future, Remember this. He said our motto cannot be burn, baby, burn. But build, baby, build. Organize, baby, organize. And then he said, learn, baby, learn, so you can earn, baby, earn. Thank you.
The Potter Center in Jackson is raising the curtain on the 2022-23 season. Join us for Shadows of the 60s, a tribute to Motown supergroups. Wings, a critically acclaimed Irish dance production. Country music supergroup Lone Star. Hollywood Nights brings all of Bob Seger's music to life. And Stunt Dog Experience will delight audiences of all ages. Individual and season tickets are on sale now. Go online or call the Potter Center ticket office today.
In Jackson County, adults with developmental disabilities often don't get opportunities for social interaction within their community. Positive experiences in their community can lead to lasting relationships and increased confidence. Club Life is on a mission to engage, enrich, and empower adults with developmental disabilities through a social club, a wellness club, and a travel club. Participants will discover new potentials and be engaged in Jackson through outings and enrichment activities. Check out our events on our website, theclublife.org.
Hi, this is Superintendent Steve Dorr, inviting you to be a part of the East Jackson family. At East Jackson, we're leading the way in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We offer one of the area's best robotics teams, as well as a diverse array of arts and music programs. At the high school level, we're excited to launch the Jackson County Early College. New classroom technology helps our curriculum come alive, and our staff ensures a safe and welcoming environment for your child. Great things are happening at East Jackson Community Schools. To learn more, visit our website, eastjacksonschools.org.
You can have the same great Avenue Auto experience online. Browse our inventory, apply for financing, and get approved to get your next pre-owned vehicle entirely on our website. We'll even deliver right to your home. Visit us online today.
Jackson Coffee Company. Roasted fresh in store so you can brew it at home.
As we're making their way on stage, I just want to give everybody just a brief overview as far as what the focus is with these groups. So when we have 4 leadership components that we go by, we have, which is character. We like to focus on character building as well as strong academics, leadership, and mentorships. And with that, we like to connect not just with people in the community, but as well as with a lot of people here at Jackson College to pour into these young men, into these young women, because these are our future right here. These are the future leaders that are going to be in our community. These are the future lawyers and doctors. I always strongly encourage them. I'm trying to pour water in their parade, but I always tell them, I said, listen, it's all right to play athletics, but you got to understand that when you go, in order for you to be successful in athletics, you got to go to college. So you got to major in something. So I'm really excited for these young men and young women here that's standing on this stage.
I stand here tonight to tell you that every man has taught me that I stand on the shoulders of giants. Not giants in sense of size, but those regarded positively, often considered as heroes. Giants who embody their resiliency, strength, perseverance, and humility as heroes. Those are the Martin Luther Kings, the Barack Obamas, the George Washington Carters. They are Rosa Parks, Dorothy Vaughns, and my very own parents and grandparents.
Testimony that Dr. Martin Luther King left behind. Tonight's theme is the drum major for justice, peace, and righteousness. Some may not know that Dr. King preached a sermon on the drum major instinct. Now, by the sounds of it, you may think, I should develop this instinct too. But first, let's take a moment to understand what it is. The drum major instinct is the basic human impulse for recognition, the desire to be first, and to receive distinction. Although these characteristics are natural, if they are not channeled in the proper ways, the drum major instinct will have you oppressing others to only march to the beat of your drum. We can't stay subservient or wait for things to be handed to us. We have to go after our dreams. Dr. King never let anyone stop him from pursuing his objectives with the silver rifle. And his legacy is confirmation enough to always reach for the stars. So from today forward, have his mentality of not letting anything or anyone get in your way. You are your greatest stumbling block. There's nothing you can't do. There is no beat you cannot march to.
Dr. King believes in showing character. The actual measure of man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and beings, where he stands in times of challenge and controversy.
Dr. King represented academics, as he once said, education must enable a man to become more efficient.
Dr. King represents leadership. A true leader seeks individuality and passion about others.
And finally, on the subject of mentorship, Dr. King once said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And we are Jackson College, Men of Merit, with the first leadership initiative, whose mission is to inspire members to stay in college, advance academically, serve their community, and become the men and women they dream to be.
What I want to say to any young person that's growing up in the inner city, you don't know what you need to do to avoid the streets. A trail has been blazed for you. If you are a young athlete and you don't know what you need to do when the big college is going to come along, why you have to go to a junior college and then the college to get your degree. A trail has been blazed for you. After you graduate from college and you want to go higher and grab your MBA from Spring Arbor University with a wife and a family, a trail has been blazed for you. If you don't know what to do to help your community, a trail has been blazed for you. If you're a young person, you're looking to become a husband, a trail has been blazed for you.
So we all have heard the speech of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. We've heard I Have a Dream. And in that speech, Dr. King, he was talking about, he was imploring to the people, I have this dream, I have this vision of how great America could be. I have this dream, America could be great. Now I want you to think about the time, it was in the 60s. It was sweltering with racism. They were being attacked by dogs and all kinds of things. They were being jailed. But here this man is, he had the foresight to say that I still have this dream, America. We can be great if we just come together. But I want you to think about that. He's talking about this dream. It's directly juxtaposed to his reality and black folks' reality. We were living a nightmare. He was dreaming, we were living a nightmare. And so, but because we're all here today, we're fulfilling that dream that Dr. King talked about, that when we all come together and work together, we can be great. So let's continue to be great. All of us come together and be great. I'm going to leave you, the last thing I'm going to leave you with, I'm going to leave you with this story. And I remember growing up in school when we would talk about, we go into the history books, we started talking about history. And I remember some of the non-black students would say, yeah, you know, my parents are from France, or they're from Italy, or they're from... And I remember opening up that history book, and the only thing that I seen was people that looked like me were shackled in chains. And they were slaves. And so that stuck with me for a long time, but our history goes way beyond slavery. Some of the greatest kings and queens that ever walked the face of the earth is from Africa, so it's okay, we can be proud of saying where we're from. But the story goes like this. There was this young African-American woman, she went back to Africa to visit Africa. She was in Senegal, and she was over in
Gory Island, I just came from over here, and they give this tour, and they talk about how the Africans were captured, and they were taken to this port. And once they went to this port, they knew they were at the point of no return. They would never go back to see their family, their friends, their loved ones. That port and Gory Island, you would never see your friends, family again. And so this woman, and the tour guide was talking about it, and this woman began to weep. And she really began to weep, just to think. So there was this African man that came over to her and said, "Woman, why do you weep?" She said, "Well, just think of all of the atrocities that happened to my forefathers, all of that had to be the worst thing that happened in the world." And he said, "Yeah, all of those things happened." But he said, "But let me tell you this. See, you survived that transatlantic, that mission from Africa to the Americas. When they put you into chains and they put you into a boat and packed you in like sardines, you survived that." He said, "Then when you came to America, you survived slavery, 250 years of chattel slavery, really, really tough slavery. Some of the most unimaginable things that happened to you, but you survived. And then after that, for the next 100 years, you survived Jim Crow. The Ku Klux Klan and all the racism that was on you survived that. So I want all of us to know, especially our young people, too, I just want to say this too, and with that man statue on, and even if you're not of African descent, you've gone through your own tragedies. You suffered a lot of things. And that African man told that woman, he said, "I want you to know this. You are the best of the best of the best." So I want to say this, the king that's in me is speaking to the king that's in you, the royalty that's in you. You are the best of the best of the best. Thank you so much for this honor. I'm really
This is my first state of Michigan tribute that I'm giving out. And it's going to my friend Anthony Parker. It is signed by the governor, the lieutenant governor, our state senator, and myself. And it talks about all the wonderful things about you, which everybody already just heard, so I won't repeat it. And I'd like to represent the state of Michigan and our community by giving you the state of Michigan tribute to Anthony Parker.
Defending against fraud every day, I'm Erin with American One Credit Union. We live in interesting times, and it's getting more complicated to protect yourself from ill intent. Some easy ways to help keep yourself and your money safe include guarding your personal information, ensuring the card you use for purchases has good fraud protection, and checking your credit report regularly for things that don't look right. It's better to be overcautious than be compromised. Visit us at thefraudfighters.org for more info and tips to protect yourself.
Did you know the Jackson Area Career Center has a hair and nail salon? Sheer Technique is open Tuesdays through Thursdays from noon to 6, with dozens of senior stylists ready to take care of your needs at affordable prices. Call 990-6629 to schedule your appointment today.
To most banks, everyone looks the same. Because they don't see you, all they see are numbers and statistics. That may not matter until you need a loan. But County National Bank sees you as an individual with value beyond what shows on a credit report. CNB is a local bank with local lenders using local appraisers who work harder to get you the loan you need. Everyone is not the same. We're local, just like you. CNB, banking that stays in the community.
The Enchanted Forest Bar and Grill has something for everyone. They offer a large menu with a variety of meals to choose from, including many Middle Eastern options, along with the everyday favorites. Enjoy live music and dancing, pool table, huge bar and large banquet hall, perfect for your next gathering, wedding reception, graduation party, and more. And don't miss Sunday brunch, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Experience a great night out at the Enchanted Forest Bar and Grill, located at 3705 Ann Arbor Road in Jackson. The early years are a key point in cognitive development, a time to nurture curiosity and develop self-confidence. Jackson School of the Arts' new all-day childcare academy will get children ages 3 to 5 started with a foundational arts-based learning environment. We are not your average preschool. We offer traditional educational activities mixed with a variety of visual arts, dance, gymnastics, and more. You will be hard-pressed to find an all-day childcare and preschool that will offer such diverse, creative, and active experiences as JSA Childcare Academy. You can check jacksonarts.org/childcare or scan the QR code for more details and online registration. The Jackson School of the Arts.
Hi, I'm Barb Tripp from Tripp's Collision Centers. Proud to let you know that we've just opened our third location at 2025 M78 in East Lansing between Meyer and Costco.
And I'm Phil Tripp. Did you know that Tripp's Collision Centers in East Lansing and in Jackson have the only full-service ADAS calibration centers in mid-Michigan? ADAS stands for Advanced Driver's Assistance Systems, keeping you safer on the road.
See us at 2025 M78 East Lansing.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to stand before you and introduce our keynote speaker of the evening. Angela Tompkins has dedicated her life to pursuing inclusion, advancing equity, and advocating for all people. Ms. Tompkins is Vice President and Chief Diversity Officer with Consumers Energy. She leads the Energy Providers Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, DEI, and Strategic Talent Sourcing Teams. Ms. Tompkins has been recognized for leading diverse teams. She has more than 15 years of experience as an automotive lobbyist, trial attorney, and adjunct professor. Ms. Angela was most recently recognized as a 2020 Michigan Chronicle Women of Excellence honoree, a 2021 Top Diversity Officer by the Energy Inclusion Conference, and a 2021 Corp Magazine Salute to Diversity Business Leaders Award recipient. Please put your hands together and help me give a warm welcome to Ms. Angela Tompkins.
Many of us have things in common tonight, whether it's our race, our age, our ethnicity, our gender, where we live, where we worship, or maybe even where we work. While we have things in common, none of us are the same. We are all unique, uniquely unique. We all have different journeys and share different life stories. And tonight, I'm going to be a little vulnerable and share part of my life journey with you. At the age of 6, I was called a racial slur for the first time. While I didn't quite understand the word, what was very clear to me was the rage and anger. I was afraid, but I learned grace. In the 5th grade, my teacher told me that I should consider being a teacher as well, because girls like me, they didn't become lawyers. I would have a hard time. I was defeated, but I learned perseverance. And thank goodness for Claire Huxtable from The Cosby Show. True story. I was actually inspired by her, and that is the reason that I went to law school. I wanted to be Claire Huxtable. So as we say, representation matters. If you see it, you can be it. In high school, one of my best friends dressed up and performed the Jackson 5 routine, blackface and all. Our school principal said no apology was necessary because the girls didn't intend any harm. I didn't matter, I was hurt. But what I learned was forgiveness. Early in my professional career, I was in a room full of elected public officials, preparing to deliver a presentation, and I was mistaken for the wait staff and asked to fetch a cup of coffee. I was embarrassed and ashamed. Yet, I learned patience. I had always had a love for fashion and bright colors, but I often wore navy blue and gray suits, so people would take me serious. I was dismissed and invisible, but I learned to value authenticity. Later in my professional career, highly credentialed with significant work experience, I was counseled to change my hair because the natural kinky coils that actually grow out of my scalp was considered unprofessional. I wasn't enough, but I learned courage. At this point in my journey, the heartache, the hurt, the embarrassment, the shame, rejection, self-doubt, all of it had taken its toll on me. What followed was depression. Quite frankly, homegirl was tired. As I worked through it, I healed, I rebounded, and I made a commitment to myself. Never again. Never again would I lose myself based on another person's ignorance, arrogance, privilege, and expectation of who I should be and what I should look like. Admittedly, parts of my journey were painful, but those experiences and those lessons resulted in the courage, the confidence, and the audacity that I have today to live boldly and unapologetically authentic. As we reflect on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life and legacy tonight, my question and challenge for each of you is to ask yourself, what are some of the experiences you had along your life journey that may have prevented you from living authentically? Are you now living your truth? Or as the kids nowadays say, are you living your best life? Envision a world, just dare to dream with me, envision a world where you, each and every one of you, could boldly live your lives in the most authentic way. To worship without worry, to love without limits, to dream without criticism, or to dare to wear your natural hair with no care. What will you do to create a safe, kind, supportive, loving, and accepting space for others to have that freedom to live their authenticity? I encourage each and every one of you to see the value of difference. Instead of tolerating difference, celebrate them. Instead of letting differences divide us, allow difference to unite us. Instead of hiding our differences, boldly put them on display. Instead of viewing difference as a weakness, treat it like the strength we need to be successful. To the students that are here tonight, the men of merit and the sisters of strength, the time is now. The future is yours. As I reflect on the past, I can't imagine what life was like before the civil rights movement. I urge the students and the young people that are here to demand and create a future where generations after can't imagine a world where difference isn't the expectation for excellence. In closing, I'll leave you with this. My favorite quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is this: "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." And I'm sure many of you have heard that one before. But you may not be as familiar with the sentence that follows. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Or simply put, we are all in this together. So my friends, I sincerely thank you for allowing me to be here with you tonight. Certainly an honor and a privilege to celebrate the life and legacy of the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with you all tonight. Thank you so much. Be safe and have a